Yo, what's going on guys, me here, and welcome back to another tutorial. I'm going to be showing you guys how to do the Easter egg. Now, I actually haven't even done it myself. I just keep going to boss fight and I keep failing because I am solo, so it is a little bit harder for me. But basically, even if you are running solo, this is definitely possible. I keep getting him very, very low. I don't have the best bubblegums, and I definitely don't have the best setup. Now, if I had the best setup, like, you know, Perkaholic and stuff, I could probably get into like earlier rounds and actually try to knock him out, and I think I would stand a way better chance. But anyways, let's get right into this Easter egg, into the first step. So you actually want to start with this green type of augment, and if you don't have it unlocked, no worries. This is just basically a thing to help you pack-a-punch guns like that. It helps you get crystals, and actually it helps you with getting better spawns on these little spore things. Basically, you have better chances to get ray guns, perks, upgrades, and even rarity tool upgrades as well. So that's what I do recommend, and also really helps overall. I also recommend having shitty bubblegums, like legendary ones or whatever that you don't use, and just recycle that for points. You could go and do the first step of the Easter egg by round 1. You could have, basically, you could have Perkaholic, not Perkaholic, what's it called? Pack-a-Punch by round 1. And let me show you guys those steps. So basically, you just want to make way to this room over here with Quick Revive, and this is all in the same location, the spawn room. Once you get that head, you basically just want to go back to this truck over here. I'm almost dead. And you basically just want to repair the truck. Once you repair the truck, then you could go to the next steps. Now, after actually getting the truck, I made myself over here to Black Lake, and I grabbed this little bottle found in the kitchen, in the cabin, so make sure you have enough points to actually open this up. Now, I'm actually going to do this thing. I'm just going to shoot the spores, and it is on a timer, so make sure you shoot it fast and do it properly. Shoot all the spores and the big one on top, and boom, done. Now, all you got to do now is run back up into the cabin. You see where the little marker is over there on the thing. All you have to do is flip the lever, and basically now you have power in this whole area to buy perks, etc. Now, I made my way to the farm. I just went backwards, and I found this little horse. I pressed square on it. It had a whole bunch of spores on it, and I pressed square because I got that little jar. Now, we're going to do the same thing that we did previously. Shoot all the things like so. And once you actually shoot all of these ones, it's going to be a location here to actually turn on the power this time. And once you turn that on, then we're going to make our way this way. Now, we simply just drive through, and we're actually here now at Ashes. You have to climb up here, ascend, and you have to start opening up the map like so. And basically, now we have to do this thing again, the little generators. You shoot all of these, flip the switch, and you're finished with this area for now. Now, once you actually do the generator, make sure you do climb down and actually do attach the Pack-a-Punch to Tessie, or Unk, how I like to call it. And now you actually do have the boosters, so you could go faster, and also now you have Pack-a-Punch at the back of your vehicle. So now we're going to go to the 115 diner, and we're going to do some backtrack. So basically, we actually want to enter the diner, and there's going to be this tomahawk right over here. And basically, we need to grab this tomahawk, or if you're high enough level, you could just craft it, but I'm just doing it for anyone that's still low level. Once you have this, we're going to be making our way back to the farm, like so. And once we're actually here at the farm, all we have to do is chop off this leg like this. And if we actually really want to, there's a Molotov back at Ashes right in front of where we upgraded the Unk, aka Tessie. And once we actually have this Molotov, all you have to do is throw the Molotov at this foot that we just chopped down with the axe. And boom, now we got human remains, or human bones. And basically now we got one of the steps for the Easter egg. And now we simply just make our way back here to the 115 diner, and we're gonna look for that zombie right there that says cook. He's gonna drop that key, and simply we just go to this freezer right over here. We hit square, we grab that carcass, and boom! Now we make our way back to Ashes to make another upgrade for Unk. Now we're going to actually be heading back to spawn, because usually the Uber spawns around 7 and higher, usually 8. And you basically want to kill this Uber Klaus. And he is pretty tough, so make sure you do have a packed gun, and make sure your gun is upgraded to like green to blue rarity and at least PAP 1 or even PAP 2. Once you do kill him though, he's going to drop this chip, and we'll be using this shortly. Now we're going to make our way back to Ashes. We're going to go right here where the Vulture Aid perk is, and we're going to run into this room. Simply press square, And then we're gonna throw in some concussion grenades, so make sure you do run that with your setup. And basically, once you know he is concussed is when there's gonna be like that concussed effect above his head, like so, and that's when he's on. Now you simply just wanna start bolting it to the next area. And you're gonna be going towards the lab area next, which is to the left. It's not to the right. Right is 115 Diner, and you wanna go to the left. Once you go here, you're gonna actually open up this door, this little garage area, and you basically wanna command Klaus to go right here, simply pressing L1 or L2, or Q, I believe, on mouse and keyboard. Once you actually do this step, he's gonna slam down. You have to press square, and you go into like this kind of little tiny lockdown. You basically just have to stand in front of the scanner and make sure only one of you guys are in a scanner. Now, if you're solo, it doesn't matter, but make sure one of your teammates is in here. A lot of times it's a little bit finicky, so make sure only one of you guys are in there. Once you're actually in here and this completes, you get this container. Make sure the car is near you at all times. You will be moving slow, and I'm going to be showing you the best way to actually take this container to different locations, because there's a certain way you want to actually go about this. First, you want to go here at Ashes. We're going to place it here of where we actually shot the little spore things. Then we're actually going to go now to Blackwater Lake. Then we're going to go here to Farm. Once we're at Farm and it's actually completed, you're going to make your way down to the basement of Farm right over here. And you're going to press square on this box. Now do keep this in mind, you are on a timer, so make sure you don't dilly-dally and you actually go to the proper locations that I told you. I believe there's 2 minutes, so you do have time. Now right here is where our spore is. It's actually going to activate within another round. Usually it takes 3 to 4 rounds. If it doesn't work for you, just keep going rounds and just keep checking that location, but we'll worry about that in a later date. Right now we're going to go to Janice Towers, and you see those symbols right there. That's how we're going to get a code for the bot. Now the best way is to go from Farm to Janice Towers and then Janice Towers back to Farm, so you could actually get a better look at the symbol. Now if you see, my symbols are right here, and it's going to be male, circle, double, triple circle. So I'm going to make my way down to the basement, and remember these codes, these 3 little things, you can't put them in multiple times because each side is different. So right there's the male, right here's the circle that I needed, and here is the last simple one, that is the 3 circle. Once you do that, you will be going into another lockdown. Once you go into this lockdown, it's basically going to teach you of how to use the Wonder Weapon. Congratulations, you got the Wonder Weapon. Basically, all you want to do is, you see these little globs right here? You want to shoot them with the Wonder Weapon and then reload your gun. And make sure to find every single one of them, of all the globs, because if you don't, you will be stuck in there until you do it. And it is pretty hectic, so just be careful, you might die. So just have Ether Shroud ready, have stuff ready to go. Now for some reason my footage ended over here. Basically you want to get that wispy perk. It's actually located in the labs area, and you want to activate this mirror once your ability does pop. Then you just come over here with your ability and he goes into the mirror and you shoot it with the Wonder Weapon like so, and then you basically get that dust, and that is one part that we do really need. Now I simply made my way back to Farm, and look, boom, our fungus is done. By 3 rounds. For me, it was done. Now I'm going to go here to the next trap, and basically any trap will do around the map, and you hit square, and when it's this type of dog round, you get the testicles, aka the eyes of the beast, and that's 2 parts done right there. Boom. Now here's a tip, make sure to do the TED challenges. I know we're in the middle of a video, but make sure to do them. Make sure you also have all your perks while doing them, is because you get perma perks. If you have duplicates, you'll get perma perks. So now if you go down and you have a self res and you revive yourself, you're gonna have all your perks kept, whatever perma perks that you actually got from these challenges. So make sure to keep doing them. It's very, very important, especially if you are solo. Now we're gonna come back to the labs area over here, and we're gonna hit square on the powder. Once we do that, it's gonna reveal our code, and there's going to be 3 different symbols over here, and I'm going to show you guys each different types of code and basically what it corresponds with all the parts that we have got. Now, we're technically are missing a part because we're supposed to kill the bear with the car. Now, technically you don't need this part unless you actually have it on your table. If you do, I'll show you later on in the video how to get that, but this is how you kind of do it without those things, because technically you don't need it if your code doesn't need that item. Now, let's say if you do need the bear part, this is how you do it. You basically just use the Margwa heads, you shoot the bear until it is dead from the Margwa. Now that is really, really important. Make sure it kills him, and it will drop that tentacle on the ground. It will be a golden item. See, it's not here in my game because I already did that step. But for you, it will be there. If it's not, just try it again with another bear. Now we get back to our Breaking Bad table, and I simply put in the code mushroom, eyes, and chunk. Once that happens, it's going to happen another lockdown. This one is quite scary, so be careful. It does teleport your teammates, so keep that in mind as well. Your teammates will be okay. It's whoever adds their blood will be lower health. But make sure whoever's doing it actually has the wonder weapon, because you could gain health with that wonder weapon. I do recommend to have ether shrouds, decoys. This is a piece of cake with those things. And basically you just want to be very, very careful and diligent. If you guys all go down and you guys have, and let's just say you guys all have self-reses, then basically you just all self-res yourself up and the challenge will fail, and then next round you could do it again. Then once you do succeed, the whole room will fill up with this purple like so, and if you do fail, it's gonna be just starting over and you just have to do it again. Now, once we are done, we have to do the key steps. You see how these things are spinning on top? That's really important. Basically, now we actually need to get keys for those things to basically stop moving. So one location for a key will be right here on this wall. And now all the other locations are going to be on the same route heading back to Ashes. So the next one will be right here on this tower. And then the next one is going to be right here next to Ashes heading towards the lab area. It's going to be right here on the rocks. Now, once you actually do pick up the key, you're going to make your way back to Ashes. You're going to go up this area right here, and you see how I only have the melee weapon out. You're going to run over here to the little square box looking thing, and you're going to hit square. Boom. And the chains broke. That's how you knew you did it correctly. Now, you have to get 2 more keys for this to fully break. Now, let's go to the next key. Now, for the next keys, basically, we're going to be heading from Ashes to Farm. Here's one location right here. You're gonna have to press X or jump just in general right there, and it will be right in there from those boxes. You will see a glowing key. Now for the next location, it's going to be right over here. It's going to be in this window on a shelf. It will be very, very noticeable. And then the next one is going to be right over here, and it was actually here for my game. It's going to be right in the corner of this shipping container. And yeah, once you grab this, you will be moving really, really slow. So make sure the car is right next to you. Now we simply just rinse and repeat. We go right back up, press square, bada bing, bada boom. Let's get to the next key. Now, the next key is going to be called the devil key, because I hate this key with a passion. It's going to be going towards the 115 area, the diner. Now, for one, it could be right here in this little skeleton skull. You basically want to shoot the back of the jaw right over there, or the back of the head. And just shoot. I can't really see it. I couldn't really see it, but just keep shooting in there, reload. If nothing happens, go to the next location. And here's the next location right here. It's going to be another dinosaur skull on top of these rocks. You just simply have to climb up, and boom, it's right there. Basically, you want to shoot into the mouth of it to the right. And once you do that, reload again. And if you get it, you get it. If not, I'll show you the next location, and the safer location is going to be right here next to these cars. And for me, I was actually here in my game, and you simply just shoot it, reload, and boom. Now that you have it, you're basically not going to be regenerating HP, so be very, very careful. Now, you basically want to make your way back to the tube thing, whatever the hell it is, and you basically just hit square, and bam, a cutscene happens. I'm going to show just a little bit of it, and then I'm going to cut it. Basically, I want you guys to experience that cutscene. It's pretty cool dialogue. But yeah, once this is done, congratulations, we're done with the keys. And we're going to be getting this item right here, the Wonder Waffle. And this is actually an upgrade for Unk, aka Tessie. Now, once we actually go down to the left, Tessie will be right there. and we just want to build the Wonderwaff on it, and we could get to the next steps. Now there's going to be a giant clock floating over here. You basically want to get your positioning proper. It's going to be heading towards farm or a lake, and you're going to shoot it simply with the Wonder Waffle. Once you shoot it, it's going to start glowing like that. That's how you know it is activated. See how I went to the next round and it stops. So you only have a whole round to actually able to do this. Now once you actually activate it, you have to pull out your wonder weapon and you have to shoot it with the claw and retract it. Once you are glowing purple, you want to go onto this jump pad right over here, and you want to go to the lab area. Remember those spinny little things? You basically want to shoot the one to the left and the one to the right. Once you do that, you basically need to get ready for the next step. Now there's going to be some symbols right here that's going to be popping up on the TV, and I'm going to show you exactly what those symbols mean with this picture here. And basically this picture means what certain word you're going to get. And now I'm going to show you a picture with the words and the numbers you need to also put in with these TVs that are flickering. Basically you shoot the little red circle like how I'm shooting it, and with the code that is corresponding with the code that you already got from those TVs for your letter, for your word. And once you actually do that, then boom, the rocket is actually going to start going off. Now, I don't know if you could actually blow this rocket up. I mean, give it a shot and let me know down in the comments down below. But yeah, let's get ready to the next step. Now for the next step, you're going to shoot the clock once again. You're going to make it go purple, and you're going to be going to the 115 diner like how I'm doing it. Then once you see this little clock right here, you want to shoot the clock, and it actually stops time. All these electric currents that you actually see is going to be really, really important. Now, for the red one, basically what we want to do is actually bump our car into the wall over here, or bump it into the back of the truck, and then we want to shoot the beams like so. Now once we shoot the beams, go next to the zombie to make sure you actually wake him up. Make sure he follows you all the way to the red beam, then you do it correctly. Once he's in the beam, leave him alone, let it be. You are on a timer, so make sure you get to the next step. Now, for the next guy, you want to actually call in the Klaus. Once you call in the Klaus, you basically want to wait for him to come in, and you want to move him to right here next to this janitor, and he's going to do a little stomp. Once he does a little stomp on top of the zombie, he's going to glow yellow. Once he glows yellow, you want to run him up to the yellow lightning, and once he goes into it, he's going to start doing his little shimmy dance, and you are done with that guy. Now, the next one is going to be right inside of here in the diner. You're going to punch this cash register with melee macchiato, so make sure you do have that. Once you do that, you're going to go on top of the diner where her electricity is at and make her run into it. Now, this step is really, really annoying, especially on solo, but if you have multiple teammates, then all of you guys could be doing different parts at the same time. And once you get all of these, you are completely done collecting the souls with this area. Also, key note, if you do fail, just go to the next round and just try to get the lightning round, and make sure you have Tessie with you to shoot the tower again, reactivate it, go purple, go back to the clock, shoot it again, and just rinse and repeat the same thing. If you miss certain ones, then you just have to do those certain ones. You don't have to repeat the entire step if you already completed one of the souls. You just have to do the remaining souls. So basically, now you have to reignite the clock, or if you still have it ignited, that is fine. You don't have to go to the next round, but just in case if you don't have it, you just have to do it again, shoot it with Tessie, and reignite it. Now, what you have to do is you shoot it, turn purple, hop into Tessie, and start heading way to farm. Once you head to farm, you're going to go into the house, and you're going to look on the clock. For me, it was 3, so I have to stand on the little scratches on the ground that has 3, and basically there's could be the number 9 or the number 12, I believe. The only numbers I ever got was 9 and 3, and I have to stand here. I don't shoot anything, and the skull is going to slowly turn his head, and boom, once his eyes go red like that, I shoot him right when he turns red only. And now we get to do the next step. Key note as well, make sure not to shoot anything on the way, because if you do, it will dissipate your charge and you will no longer be purple, and then you have to do it again. Now basically you just run up the stairs from the area you just shot and press square on this cabinet and you get a bear's head. We're going to be collecting these little tiny items, and I'll be showing you where I went to collect all the items that I do need. Now we're simply going to be running up the barn, and we're going to grab these little hockey masks right here, and then we simply are going to go this way and we find these shears like so. We press square and that's another item. Down to the basement towards the tub area, and we're going to press square once again, getting the final and last item that we need. Now there's going to be these symbols right here on the ground, and simply we're just going to press square to activate them, and there's going to be 4 of these, that the items that we did get, and we simply just hit square. Now if we hit square once again, we will be going into a lockdown. Now as a solo, I do recommend to have the Klaus activated, that you could get into the family house on the top floor, and to have one of the dog score streaks as well. I also recommend you to switch out to have the frenzy perk ready, because basically all the enemies will be target against you, and they will not be attacking those 4 items because you will be defending it. And I believe it's like about 2 minutes or a minute, and then once you are done with the farm, and we can move on to the next step. Now for one of the final steps, we're going to go to Black Lake, and we're actually going to find this salt at the back of the docks. We're going to hit square like such. Now the next and final steps that we have to do is actually go right back to Ashes to reignite the clock once again, turn purple, run back to Black Lake like how I'm showing you guys right here, and we're gonna hit this projector exactly how I do. Now look at the screen, and it's gonna show you 4 different types of pictures. How I like to go by it is house, barn, roof, and shack. Now those are the different locations. They're going to be different for yours, how it was different for mine. And now I'm going to show you where to find all the different types of discs. Now do keep this in mind. Follow the screen that it shows you, not my gameplay, but shows you on your screen. Because if you do mess up, you will get a jump scare. Now this is the location for roof, and this is the location that you're going to actually find the disc for house. Now this is going to be the location here for barn. It's going to be right up here on this wood. And the final location is going to be shack. Once you hop in, it's going to be right over here on this little cabinet. Now for the next step, you're simply going to go up these stairs right over here, and you're going to hit square on this soul. Once you do that, you're going to jump down and you're going to activate this Klaus. Once you activate the Klaus, you're going to wait for him to spawn in, and you're going to select him to go where you actually found the soul. It's going to be a little tiny box, and he's going to put on this like glove looking thing, and he's going to be chilling next to the dock. Now, once he's chilling next to the dock, do not press square on him unless you are ready for boss fight. Because yes, we made it all the way to boss fight. So prepare, get ready, get your perks, get your bubblegums of what you think is best. Make sure you have everything packed. Make sure you have everything you possibly need. Now, once you hit square on him, I'm guessing you're ready for boss fight. Now, there's going to be a little things you're going to have to do. You're going to have to run back to your car, and you're going to be going back to the towers. Now, while you're going back to the towers, you're going to be seeing these souls right here pop up. Once you see these souls, you need to collect 3 in this type of zone that I'm at, this little mushroom area. Do not leave this area until you collect all 3. Once you collect all 3, we're going to be moving on to the farm. Then you have to collect 3 in those locations, and then you're going to be going, and then once you pass farm, you're going to be going to the dock area, and you're going to collect 3 souls. Now you're going to be going back to Ashes. Once you go back to Ashes, you're actually going to make a loop, and you're going to go back to Black Lake. You never want to pass Ashes. You don't want to go to the 115 diner. You don't want to go to the labs area. You just want to make a quick little loop and go back to Black. Once you go back to Black Lake, that's actually when the boss fight's going to start. You collect your 3, and boom, you get right into boss fight. Now, for boss fight, it is no joke. Now, for solos, I recommend to just stay in the car the entire time. Only time you get out is for a certain step, and I'm gonna get into that a little bit late. But basically, for the first step, you just kind of want to bump him with your car, or make someone maybe shoot him, or whatever you want to do. just do damage to him. I recommend just booping him with the car because it does a lot of damage, and you want to dodge these little tiny missiles that spawn on the floor. And now I actually do recommend, once these missiles do spawn on you, go backwards to where the missile spawned, because a lot of times you'll actually be safe from that area. Because it actually takes a little bit of time for it to go back to where it was, because it's trying to do like predicting where you're actually going to go. So once you do that, and once you actually pass this step of bonking him around, he's going to start spinning like a Beyblade. I know, gotta go fast. It's kind of crazy. So once he actually starts spinning like this, he's going to spawn these purple lights around the map, and you have to look around for it. It's going to be looking like this. And basically what you want to do is go into the purple light, and your car is going to be turning all purple. Once that happens, you hit him and he turns stunned. That's the only time you get out of the car to hit his weak spot that's underneath him, and that literally is glowing. Once you hit him a few times and you do the damage that you need to do, make sure to run back to Tessie, especially if you are in solos, because he will grab your car and throw it at you. Now, if someone is just driving around and if you have teammates, great. Make sure someone is in Tessie at all times. I also recommend make sure to keep it good HP. Now, once he is done doing his Beyblade thing, or let's say the purple lights are not spawning, make sure just to bump him with your car, and that actually kind of resets him, and it actually gets him to spawn in more purple lights. Now, after you do that, he starts doing his charge beam attack. This thing will insta-kill you. You can interrupt him with the car if you bump into him, but you only have about 15 to maybe 20 seconds to actually do it. Now, you could bump him regularly, or you could actually just boost into him and hopefully you hit him. Now, if you do hit him, it will interrupt, but he will keep doing that attack. Now, if you have actual teammates, you could shoot him while, he's actually stunned for a little while, and you'll be able to kill him. But for solos, make sure you're ready to turn back around and hit his ass again, because he will keep shooting that beam at you repetitively. That's exactly what happened to me, and that's how I died. Now, once you do pass that beam step, and you actually do it, congrats. You basically killed him. That's all you really have to do. Now, if you are not in the car, make sure to go behind the pillar if you cannot stun him in time, because that beam will insta-kill you. It will do a lot of damage. It will blow up your car as well. But after all of that, and if you avoided that, congratulations. I really hope this thing actually does get nerfed, because it is insane, especially for solos. It feels like it's almost impossible, because you get him to 1 HP, and then somehow you die. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. And if you guys have any suggestions for classes or anything like that, or best bubblegums to run, best guns to run, let me know in the comments down below, because I guarantee you people would like to know, I would like to know, and let me know if my guide actually did help you guys. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.